All right, fellas, here we go. Let me wrap up Super Bowl 14, 2011 champion Bomb Squad. You see, I got my little decorations right here in front of me, boom, balloons and so forth. It's New Year's Eve, feels appropriate. I know I'm a little late getting to it, but just that time of year and trying to get in front of a video is a little bit more difficult than getting in front of a keyboard to simply type stuff in, but I still like it. So anyway, let's talk about it a little bit. Bomb Squad, man, you know what? I've been running this league obviously for 14 years. I watch the whole playoffs unfold every year because I have to. That's as a commission. That's what I do. And this is by far probably the most improbable run based on what I saw coming into the season from Bomb Squad, and then also the most dominating performance that I think we've seen in the 14 years here. When I say improbable, I look back. I actually talked with Bill about this during the games last week, and I look back on Corey's record because I always do my review going into the playoffs of who I think is playing well, who has a good chance, and so forth. And if you remember, I didn't have Bomb Squad mentioned. I don't think I even uttered Bomb Squad. Reason being is that when I look back on the previous 4 weeks, Bomb Squad has scored in the 40s twice. He has scored in the 60s twice, low 60s. I think he had two 63-point games heading into the playoffs. That's usually not a sign that a team can put together the consistency needed to win a Super Bowl, which usually you have to score 65, 70 plus 3 straight weeks to win a Super Bowl. Maybe you can catch somebody slipping 1 week and then have two good games, but for the most part, you're going to have to be fairly consistent. So that's always how I do my evaluation going into the playoffs. Like I just mentioned, Bomb Squad didn't show that, so I had 4 or 5 other teams that I was kind of watching going into the playoffs other than Bomb Squad. Um, so that was the improbability. Now, the domination part of it. 111 week one, 98 week two, 100 in week three. I don't think we've had anybody put together a run like that before. He was a high scorer every week, I think, except one. Week two, I believe somebody had 90. Yeah, the Crushers put up a 99. I don't know if even Emmett was putting his team together, but he had a 99 that week. But then, like the Bomb Squad had a 98. I'm sorry, no, he had 99. So he actually tied for the high score in week two. So 3 straight weeks out of all the scores that at least were posted. I know some teams, like I said, don't put a team in once they're eliminated from the playoffs. But bottom line is he outscored everybody 3 straight weeks. So I mean, it was like no question. Nobody could sit back and say, "Oh man, if I was a different seed, or if I had played a different player, or yada yada yada, everything that we do, I could have won the Super Bowl." No, the team that should have won the Super Bowl won the Super Bowl outright. So, and the thing about it that made his performance so dominating is no one player really got hot. Cam was good. He blew up that last week to help him hold off the Eagles. The Eagles made a good run at it. Bill was down by like 50 points or so going into Monday night game with New Orleans and had Colston and Lance Moore going along with Tony Gonzalez. So he still had a very good shot. But we both knew that Bomb Squad had Darren Sproles and Julio Jones going, who had been consistent here of last week. So we knew we needed to keep those two out of the end zone for Bill to have a really good, strong shot at catching up to Bomb Squad. And both of those guys scored. And Bill, like I said, he made a good run, put up 76 points. But man, when you got going up against somebody that put up 100, it's kind of hard to overcome that. And by the time he got that touchdown from Julio early in the game, I pretty much knew that that was probably it, unless something dramatic happened. But back to the point I was making, he had just consistency. Everybody, I won't say they got hot because nobody was blowing up, but everybody got consistent. Julio scored, I think, 3 weeks in a row, putting up 10, 11, 12 points. Cam was good down the stretch. He had a 33-point game in the championship, but I think he had like 17, 18, 19-point games the first 2 weeks. Miles Austin came back from his injury, was scoring. He even pulled out Laurent Robinson, Dallas, who had been hot, and put in Dwayne Bowe, and Dwayne Bowe scored at the end of the Kansas City game this past Sunday. I thought that was a questionable move, and it worked out. That's why Corey got a ring, and I don't. So, who else? I mean, everybody. I should have his team in front of me, but it was just balanced. It was like he was getting 15, 12, 11, 9, 20. it was just across the board, everybody was scoring points. Darren Sproles, was getting him a little touchdown, a few yards. And Aaron Hernandez started scoring for him. The Eagles D was hot. I think they put up a couple of 20-point games. David Akers, I think, kicked well. I mean, it was just across the board contribution. So the takeaway from this is obvious that you keep working on your team. He had a lot of injuries. He lost Miles Austin a lot of the season. He lost Matt Schaub. Of course, we didn't know Cam Newton was going to get hot like that. I think Steven Jackson was down at one time in the season. Julio was injured. So, I mean, he had a lot of injuries throughout the season, but he kept plucking away. He picked up Laurent Robinson, I believe, during the season and turned out to really save him during those middle part of the season while Miles Austin was out. And I think there was a couple other moves that he made, but for the most part, it was just a matter of getting hot at the very end of the season. Usually, like I said, it doesn't happen like that, but it did. So just shows stick to itness works. And because you never know, this is a perfect example of you never know what's going to happen. That's why you want to get to the playoffs. And then let's see what happens. So congratulations, C. We'll see everybody on January 23rd. I'll send something out a little bit later. Put that down on your calendar. 23rd, probably back here at the crib, and 3 or 4 o'clock. That's a Sunday. And we'll sit back, watch one of the championship games, have a little food like we normally do, and give out the trophy and the money, and get ready for next season. Also, make sure you guys vote at the home page on the poll on the injured reserve player for next season. Do we want to charge anything? Do we want to make it $20, $10, and so forth? We can discuss it maybe a little bit at the Super Bowl party as well, and then finalize it at draft day in Vegas next year. So anyway, be safe out there. 5 o'clock. Got about 7 hours before New Year's. Everybody have a good New Year. Had a good year myself. Hope everybody has a great 2012. And we'll talk soon. Later.